Okay, so yeah, basically we will be working on a healthcare project, and whenever like in USA, we will be having healthcare. It is a vast domain, right? So majority of the companies or the SQL work will be there in the healthcare domain. Yeah, it is not only healthcare domain or like medical field will be there for our job. Okay, you can work in any domain like banking, insurance, or maybe real estate. Okay, everywhere we'll be using this SQL to manage the transactions and to manage the databases. Okay, but yeah, healthcare is like a major part of this technology, we can say, in USA. Okay, so the first we are going to see two projects. One is from the insurance or maybe like a retail domain, and another is from the healthcare domain. The first we will start with is healthcare domain. Okay, before starting the actual project, you should know some key terminologies that is being used or that is being like referred in your daily work when you will be working in a healthcare domain. Okay, those are related to the like those are the common terminologies we are having. So I'll just talk about that. Okay, first. Okay, so the very important terminology is provider. Okay, so in the can someone like does anyone know who is the provider in healthcare domain in
Provider who
general?
give the facility,
Right.
who
So
provide the
who gives the
facility for
facility?
that
Right. Who
provider.
gives the facility? That's correct. So a person or an organization. Okay, it may be a person, it may be an organization. Okay, organization in the sense it can be a hospital. So who provides you the medical services? Okay, as we are in healthcare domain, any individual or organization that provides, that delivers the medical services to you is referred as a provider in healthcare domain. Okay, so hereafter, whenever we are saying provider, okay, so there will be a doctor or there will be a hospital, there will be a group of doctor. Okay, it is not only doctor or hospital. I have listed out here the entities that can be considered as a providers. Okay, any individual or organization that delivers the medical services. So medical services will not be provided only by the doctor. Okay, it can be a pharmacy, it can be a nurse staff. Okay, it can be a therapist. Okay, it can be a like what we can say, it can be a home health providers, right? So any individual that is providing you the healthcare services, medical services, we refer them as a providers. Okay, there are two types: individual providers and then healthcare organizations, right? It may be a facility or hospital, we can call that. So in the individual, we are having the physicians. Okay, so any doctors like MDs or DOs we are having, general practitioner or specialist. So that is and physician we can call. Then nurse practitioner we are having, so the nurses who can diagnose and treat the patient. Okay, those are the nurse practitioners. Then physician assistants. Okay, medical professional who works under a doctor supervision. Those are also providers. Then registered nurses and licensed practical nurses. Okay, so who can take care of the patients in a hospital. We are having therapists, mental health providers, pharmacists. These are again some example, not all the individual providers there. Okay, just to understand, any these are the individual personalities that is associated with providing the medical care, medical services to the patients. Okay, in a hospital. Then second is a facility or the hospital we are calling. So healthcare organizations. So in that we are having the hospitals. Okay, then we are having the clinics. We are having a small clinics. Then we are having urgent care centers. Let's say you are having an accident. First, they will treat you in a urgent care center and they will transfer to the a bigger hospital later on. So we are having the urgent care centers, then we are having long-term care facilities like nursing home. Like some patients will be there for, they don't need much medical attention, but they should be treated and like under a medical supervision. So for them, we will be having nursing homes, okay, then rehabilitation centers like for mm, any disabilities, we will be having the rehabilitation centers and all, which will take long for your cure, right? Then we are having home healthcare providers. Like sometimes individuals or maybe yeah, individuals needs to visit to the patient home because they can't move, and also we can provide the services in a home as well. So those are also considered as a providers here. Okay, so the provider ID will be the field we will be having in okay, no matter in which company, in which organization you will be working. If you are working in a healthcare domain, you will see a field called a provider ID. Okay, it is not like the field name will be the same. It can be like provider ID. Okay, it can be like PRPR ID. Okay, or it may be like provider ID without any space. Okay, but there will be a field to identify the individual, identify the provider in any database system. Okay, and it will have its own parameters, own details will be having for the provider. Now, what kind of details it will have? It will have, now when we say we are having a provider ID, so there will be provider details as well, right? We'll be having the name, we'll be having the address, okay, we'll be having the specialty, right? This provider is specialty. Then we are having tax ID of the provider, then we'll be having NPI. Okay, NPI, do you know what is NPI? So NPI is the governmental identification number for that provider. Okay, whenever he passes the exam, he will be receiving a standard, or he will be receiving a unique identification number. So that is a NPI, National Provider Identifier. Okay, so we'll be having all these details stored in a table, also stored in a table, and it is tagged to that provider ID. Okay, and every provider will be having the effective and termination date. Now, why it is needed to have the effective and termination date? Okay, from date and to date. Because, okay, let's say you are working in a hospital. Okay, there should be some contract between you and hospital. You as a doctor, you are working for one of the hospital. So there should be some contract, right? I'll be working from this date to this date. Okay, after that, if any like services has to be given, again, uh, your termination, sorry, your effective date should be increased. So we can call this as an expiry date, right? For the services, right? So uh, every information in this provider table, okay, so all these details will be stored in a separate table called maybe it may be a provider table, we can consider. Okay, so all these details will be stored in a table, but it will have the its effective and termination date. Okay, it will have its valid period of time. Okay, so any claim that is being submitted under this provider, okay, that should be within these 2 dates. Okay, let's say your doctor is valid up until a last date, like we are having, like let's say 12 of May, and you are submitting a claim for that doctor on 13th of May. So that will not be a valid claim. So like that, for all this consideration, we need to have this effective and termination date. Okay, and not only for this provider, the effective termination date will be for everything. Okay, every entity that we will see. Okay, so this is the first thing we are having, provider. Now, second is member. Second important uh, entity in this healthcare domain is an member. So what is member? Who is member? Okay, who is subscriber? So that details also we need to see. Okay, so who is member? Before going to the member, does anyone have any question on the provider section?
No, no question.
Okay, thank you. Okay, then second is a member. So who is member in a healthcare domain? Okay, so in healthcare, a member refers to an individual who is enrolled in a health insurance plan or healthcare program. Okay, so we are calling a member who is enrolled in a particular health insurance plan or enrolled with a health insurance company. Okay, so it may be a subscriber and dependent. Now, again, we are seeing subscriber as well. So subscriber is someone who is actually enrolled to that policy, and dependents are the dependents for that and subscriber. Like when you work in a company, okay, not all the family members will be enrolled directly with the insurance company. Okay, so as an employee, you will be the primary policy holder. So you will be subscriber, and then you will be having a time to add your dependents for that policy. So that dependents also called as a member for that insurance plan. Okay, so similar to this provider table, we'll be having the member information as well stored in some member table. Okay, so what details we'll be having here? Let's say we are saying member ID. Okay, or maybe MAME ID.
Okay, MID, yeah, sometimes MID also used, yeah.
Yeah, it can be a
Yeah,
MID
yeah.
as well. Okay, so all this ID will be having, then we are having the details. Details such as name. It may be first name, last name, middle name. All the three fields will be there. Prefix will be there. Okay, Mr. Mrs. whatever it is. Then we are having the gender. We are having DOB. Okay. Then we are having address details. Okay. Then we are having enrollment date. Okay, then we are having effective date and termination date again. Okay, from which date to which date the member is enrolled in a healthcare plan or health insurance plan. So all these details will be again stored into some of the table. Right. So how these details will be stored in a table? Let's say you have bought the insurance plan today. So your details will be stored in some table, okay, with the health insurance company. So here, what kind of members we'll be having in a healthcare domain, that again I have given a bit. Okay, so health insurance member, first one, individuals covered under a private or government sponsored health insurance plan. Okay, so do you know some government sponsored health insurance plan in USA?
Like in case of US, there's Medicaid, Medicare. This program is the government
Right.
supported
So
program, yeah.
we are having two important health insurance plans, okay, which are government sponsored, which is Medicaid and Medicare, right? So any member that has been uh, covered in a government or a private health insurance plan, okay, that also called as a member, any individual, okay. It may be the subscriber who is a policyholder or maybe a dependent, spouse, child, etc. Okay, now Medicare and Medicaid I have given out here. Who is the Medicare? Like, what is Medicare we are having, and who is eligible for those Medicare health insurance plan? So Medicare is for the individuals. aged 65 or disabilities, with disabilities enrolled in a Medicare. So this Medicare plan is basically for uh, we can say aged Native Americans, right? So whose age is more than 65 years, or if any person is having disabilities that but the age is less than 65, so those also will be considered under the Medicare plan here. Okay, this Medicare plan is uh, throughout the USA, so it is funded and governed also by the federal
Yeah,
what
federal government.
federal government, right? Not a
Yeah,
state
yeah,
government. So it is
yeah,
governed and sponsored by the federal government. And in second plan, we are having Medicaid. Okay, under that, who is eligible under that? So low income individuals and families covered under a Medicaid plan. Okay, which is again like under the state Medicaid programs. Okay, it
yeah.
is different for all the states. So these are the two major programs we are having, okay, which are the government sponsored program. Okay, government sponsored health insurance plan, we can say. Okay, apart from that, there are others as well, like there are health plan, okay, managed by the care organizations, or we can say managed care organizations. Okay, but this is limited. We will not have much members under this, or if you are working for a government company only, then only you have to work on this. Okay, but mostly as this is compulsory for everyone in USA, you will be dealing with these two plans. Along with that, there will be some private plans as well by the respective health
No, we have
insurance
to
company.
dealing with the health plan member also, so that's it. Below on number third also HMO, PPO, APO also. That's also requirement, I think, for every
Right,
family. Yeah.
these are the requirements, but these are not common, or we can say mandate for everyone. Okay, every health insurance company. Okay, so there may be a different rules for them. Okay, but yeah, we are having HMO. HMO is for like health maintenance organization. Okay, so there are some the rules we are having. It must use the network of providers. Like uh, here, if you see any Medicare or Medicaid members we are having, so in an emergency, we can have some different providers as well. Okay, like a doctor from another hospital can also treat. Okay, but here what we are having is it should be like providers within a network only. So within a network hospital, we cannot go any out of network hospital there. Okay, so these are the some rules, or these are the some limitations we are having for those plans here, like for MCOs. These are the MCOs we call. Then preferred provider organization members have more flexibility in choosing the provider. So in preferred provider, we the member will be having the flexibility to choose the providers. Okay, it is not like the organization will choose the provider. As a member, you will be having some rights to choose the member to choose the provider for you. And then we are having EPO. Okay, so here we in the sense the member can use only the providers within the plans network. So there will be a different or dedicated providers for each of the plan, like for Medicare, for Medicaid, or any private plans we are having. So that will be having a separate provider networks, and we have to, as a member, we should use only those providers. Okay, then healthcare program members we are having, like members of employer sponsored wellness program. So here, as an employer, organizations will plan some wellness programs, and any individual taking part in that is also being referred as a member. Okay, and then members of special healthcare programs, like we are having the chronic disease management, behavioral health. So those also will be considered as a member here. Okay, so here we have given the list of types of members we can have. Different plans I have given out here, and any individuals enrolled for that particular plan we call as a member. Okay, then here also I have given some key identifiers, like it will have the member ID. which is unique identification number assigned by an insurance provider. Okay, so insurance provider is the one who will assign the unique number. Like let's say you are having a policy, so you will be getting some unique number there, right? So you will be getting some unique identifier for you. Okay, and that will be used as an user ID for you to get login into your insurance plan, right? Then we are having a policy number. So every member will have the policy number, right? So this is the insurance plan covering the member for the medical services. And then eligibility status. So it will indicate whether the member is currently covered under a plan, okay, or whether the member is active within a plan, okay, or any subscriber dependent. Those details also will be available into one of the table for the member. Okay, so this is all about the member at high level. Any question?
No.
Okay, not we'll move forward. The next important thing is claim, which you will be hearing a lot of time. Okay, what is mean by claim? So whenever you take any services, hospital, or whenever you get hospitalized, okay, so post discharge or maybe during the hospitalization as well, you will submit a claim. Okay, it may not be directly you as a member. Okay, in your like for you, the hospital may raise a claim, okay, or there may be some third party tools, third party personals will be having, which will be submitting the claims on behalf of you, okay, or maybe after discharge, you will also submit a claim for the reimbursement. So what is the claim in this case? Why for like for what we are calling the claim, and to whom we are submitting the claim?
Can you tell one more time? Missed something.
Yeah,
Question.
yeah. I was saying like for what term we like for what we are using the claim as a term, right? And during the hospitalization or maybe post hospitalization, we will be submitting a claim, or you may be hearing if you are like in a hospital, on behalf of you, someone, some third party person may be raising a claim, or doctors raising a claim, or hospital raising a claim. Okay, so what is claim and to whom we are submitting that claim?
Is it the billing is the claim invoice or
So it is not only invoice, right? Invoice is something, yeah, invoice we can say, but it is not uh, like only invoice. In claim, we'll be having all the details.
service? Service also like how the service
Right.
provided.
Services also we will mention there what kind of treatment we have taken, like what kind of treatment we have given to the member. So we can say a claim is like a formal request for the payment to the insurance company, right? So we will be submitting a claim to the insurance company. So to what insurance provider you have enrolled, for that insurance company, we will be submitting a claim. Okay, so we can say it is a formal payment, it is formal request for the payment against the medical services taken, right? So any medical services has been taken, for that we will be requesting a payment from the insurance company. So on behalf of a member, insurance company will pay the uh, like pay the amount to the providers. Okay, it may be a hospital or it may be a doctor. So those doctors, those providers, we can say, will be paid by the insurance company, right? So claim is a formal request for the payment submitted to an insurance company or payer by a healthcare provider for services rendered to a patient. Okay, so it may be a healthcare provider or it may be a member as well. So for like what are the services that has been rendered to a patient? So for that all services we will request a formal payment request to the insurance company using some standard forms, right? So it is not like on just a white paper we are writing something and we are saying like I was admitted from this date to this date, this is the services taken and please make a payment. No. So there will be some standard forms, there will be some standard process we will be having to submit a claim. Okay, and on top of that, insurance company will evaluate that claim, right? It will check the correctness, it will check the duplication, it will check if there is any fraud and all. And after all validations, they will make the payment saying claim is approved and this is what the amount that will be reflected, that will be uh, sent by provider, sorry, sent to the provider. Okay. It may not be 100%, it may be like 30, 40, 50, anything will be there. But after submitting a claim, the health insurance company will evaluate that claim for the valid data. Okay. And based on that information, they will pay to the insurance, like pay to the providers. Okay. Either to the hospital or either directly to the doctors. Okay. So that is what the claim is. So what are the details we will be having on a claim? So on
I
a
was,
claim, yes, please go ahead.
yes, I got it. Yes. I'm sorry.
Okay. So, on a claim, we will be having many things on the claim. Okay, we will see some claim form example as well, but at high, we can say what are the mandatory things we are having on the claim is the member details. Okay, so we should have the information about the patient, like who is the patient, what is the name, age, date of birth, maybe, or from what date to what date he was admitted, right? So we call that as a duration of the medical services, or we call that as a service dates, like from which date to what which date the patient was admitted. So that is a service date span, we can say. Okay, we are calling that as a service date span. So that service date details also will be there in the claim form. Again, it will have the provider details. So who is the treating doctor? Okay, what is his doctor number or maybe NPI, tax ID, for the payment, bank details, all those details will be also there in the claim form for the provider. Okay, if it is not a doctor, we will be having the details about the hospital as well. Okay, so this is about the member and provider. Apart from that, it will have the diagnosis and treatment related information. Okay, what was the diagnosis, initial diagnosis? What was the treatment given? Okay, what are the medicals has been used? Okay, medicines has been used, so that all the details will be there under the claim form. And then obviously there will be a cost incurred for all these services, right? So what is the cost for all these services? It may be like a breakdown cost, and at the end it will be having the total cost. So all these sorry, all these details will be available in the claim. Okay, and every detailed information, every claim form we are submitting, so there will be a unique claim number will be generated for each of the forms submitted, right? So like you might know, whenever you submit a claim, you will be receiving a reference number as a claim ID. This is your claim ID. Okay, it is not related to medical only. So this member or provider or claim, these terminologies will be again similarly applicable for any kind of insurance as well, right? It may be a like vehicle insurance, it may be your home insurance. Okay, it is not only for the medical insurance. So the same terminologies, same keys we can use for the like other domains as well, where we need to submit a claim again, like vehicle or hospital, like home insurance Okay, so in this also you will be having this terms used there: member, provider, and claims. Okay, so there are two major types of claims we are having. Okay, we'll be having others as well, but two important types of claims is, one is a professional claim and another is an institutional claim. We call that as either a hospital claim as well or medical claim as well. So first one is an institutional, or we can say it is a hospital. So by the name we can see institution or hospital claim we are saying. So these claims will be submitted by the hospitals, nursing facilities, or other institutional providers. So it is not the claim which is submitted by the individual person. Okay, as a person, we can say the claim submitted by the hospital is called as a hospital claim or institutional claim. Okay, so it will have the details about the facility charges, room and board charges, surgeries. So these all details also will be available under this institutional claims or hospital claims. And second type we are having is a professional claim, or we say medical claim. So this is used, this particular claim type will be used by the physicians, okay, individual physician, therapist, or individual healthcare professionals. So like doctors and all, right? So they will be submitting the claim using this, like they will be submitting a claim. That claim is called as a professional claim or medical claim. Okay, it covers the office visit, diagnosis test, and other professional services. Then we are having dental and vision claims. So these are the again two different types of the claims. Okay, but mostly you will be dealing with these two types of claim in any healthcare organization. Okay, here I have given some of the codings here. What is this? So these codes I have given here in the bracket, those are the type of forms. Okay, there is some standardization needed for each and everything. So same way, to submit a claim, we should submit a claim in a standard format only. So these are the formats, these are the forms that will be used by the hospitals to submit a claim. Okay, so if we search about this UB04 claim form, okay, you will be seeing this form like this. Okay, I'm just opening the PDF here. Okay, so you see this is a UB04 claim form. Okay, so to submit an institutional claim, we need to submit the institutional claim in this format only. Okay, some of the things we will just see what are the details we are having here. Okay, like every section 1, 2, 3, okay, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. So here we are having each of the section, and every section is holding some of the information. Like if you see here, we are having like 4 number as a type of bill. So what type of bill it is? Then 5 number we are having federal tax ID number. So for the provider, what is the tax ID number? Okay, then we are having a patient name here. Okay, patient address we are having, birth date of the patient, then we are having gender of the patient. Okay, then what else we are having? Some codes we are having here, condition codes, acidity, state. So we will see what is this code and all, right? Uh, what else we are having? We are having the amount related information here in this form. Okay, then we are having description of the services. Then here also we are having some rate code, HPPCS code. So we will talk about this code later. Then we are having service date. So from which date to which date the patient was admitted. Even the same thing will be available at the top as well. Statement date. Okay, from and through. So that date also will be there. Then we are having units, how much units has been charged for this particular service, and total charges. Okay, any non-covered charges, that also we can mention in this form. Then we are having the payer information. Payer is nothing but the health insurance company. Okay, so I'm like the pair name may be Cigna Health, or it may be like Blue Cross or Blue Shield we are having. So these are the payers we can say, right? Then health plan ID, if any prior treatment has been taken before this admission. Okay, then insurance, insured name, insurance, insured ID. So these are the details we are having, like procedure codes, okay, diagnosis code. So that all the details will be available under this UB04 form. So this is the form, this will be used by the insurance companies. Sorry, this will be used by the hospitals or the medical, uh, what we say, yeah, the nursing facilities and all, right? So that this form will be used to submit a claim, or we can use the CMS 1450 as well. So this is another type of form. And for the professional claims or medical claims that is submitted by the individual doctors or the therapists, we'll be using this uh, CMS 1500 form. Okay, so I will just to take a look on this form as well. So here as well, if you see, we'll be having the same kind of details almost, like member, providers, charge, then service dates, procedure codes, diagnosis codes, so that all details will be available under this CMS 1500 form as well. It is not. Okay, it is saying like it is approved by National Uniform Claim Committee. Okay, so there should be some standardization, and we need to submit a claim in a proper format. Okay, so here if you see, we are having a type of plan like Medicare, Medicaid, TRICARE, or Campo we are having, right? So that all details we need to submit. Patient information, name, address, city, zip code, telephone, if okay. Then other insured name, like if there is any subscriber we are having, like policy holder and your dependent. So that details also we need to submit here. Patient birth date, relationship with the insured. Okay, it may be self, spouse, or any child's, right? Then we are having the insurance, yeah, insurer detail as well. Okay, like health insurance company name, address, then health plan ID. Then we are having the uh, service dates, right? From which date to which date. Sorry, where it is. Yeah, date of current illness. Then here we are having the from and to date under this S. Okay, so all these details will be there under this you like 1500 form as well, same as 1500 federal tax ID, patient account number and all. Okay, so these are the different forms we'll be having that will be used by the hospitals or maybe the doctors to submit a claim to the insurance company. Okay, so the above claims can be submitted through the EDI format. Now, this is something that is related to our project now. These are the common things we have seen until now. Okay, in general, what is meant by provider, member, and a claim. Now, how it is submitted. Okay, because it looks like it is a handwritten form. Okay, so how we can process this through the automation, through the SQL, through the like scheduled jobs and all, how to check the eligibility, how to check the data when the form is handwritten form, right? Handwritten, or maybe it is a typing as well if we have any forms that can be submitted through the computer, right? So how to process all those claims automatically, because it is not a single claim, right? We'll be getting a huge volume of claims on a daily basis. As an insurance company, let's say I'm working for the Athena, okay, Aetna Health or maybe Cigna Health, okay, I may receive around 10,000 claims per day, right? So we cannot go and check the claims one by one manually. Okay, that is where the use of technology, the use of SQL databases, use of any ETL processes that comes under picture, because a count of claim, okay, count of records that we need to process is a much higher. And if we uh, do this manually, there are chances of errors, there is slowness, right? Because manually, if you are looking for the 10,000 claims and again same form you are looking, there may be chance like you will miss something there. Okay, and it is a time consuming process. So that is why whatever the claim information we will be receiving on the claim form, that will be loaded to the databases, that will be loaded to the tables, so that create the procedures, we can create the procedures with the logic to check the correctness of the claim. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, but again, as initially I was mentioned, these are the handwritten forms. We should have some common infrastructure, or we can say we should have some common formalities to read all this data. And there is what this EDI file format is coming picture. Okay, so any claims that is being submitted will be converted to the EDI format. Okay, so the above claims can be submitted through the EDI file format. Okay, now EDI is a format that can be read by the machines. In the sense, it can be read by the computers. Okay, so again, this EDI file format is also a standard format that is approved by the US government. Okay, and it will have a different segments as well there. Okay, so this is one of the example. Okay, so in the EDI file format, we'll be having these details here. We'll be having the loops, we'll be having the segments. Okay, what are those details we are having? So that all will be available under this EDI file format. Okay, so I'm just looking for any one file if we have, or I may have somewhere. I don't have that. No, I don't have. Okay, so there is a standard format. Let's see if we have somewhere. Is having again details about the loops, but a common. Let me open this. Sorry, let me see here. Okay, it looks something like this. Okay, so this is a kind of file it will look like. Okay, it will start with ST segment. Yeah, ST segment, and it will end with SE segment. So yeah, here it is. Okay, start with ST and end with SE. Okay, you don't have to worry much about this. Okay, this is just as an example how the claim will be converted to the EDI format, because we need to automate the process, and to automate the process, the data should be there in some database, which means the data should be loaded into the computer. So no matter whether you are submitting a paper claim using these forms, or you are submitting claims through the online system, okay, the first thing is the claim will be converted to the EDI format. This is a standard format we are having, in which the claim will be converted. Okay, and it is having the different loops we can call, or different segments we are having, in which in each of the segment there will be a standard information. So always the loop 2000 will be there for the provider details. Like if you see here, we are having the clinic name, we are having the address of the clinic, then 36, this is something maybe NPI or maybe tax ID. Okay, so the details will be there under the loop 2000 A. Then loop 2000 B is there for the subscriber. Okay, if you see here, we are having SBL is for the subscriber. Then we are having age, then we are having the name of the subscriber, like first name, last name, middle name. Okay, we are having address of the subscriber, then we are having date of birth here, 1981 1202. Then gender we are having. Okay, then insurance company details also will be there under this loop 2000B. Okay, then in loop 2300, we are having the details about the clinic and the services taken. So here we are having some diagnosis codes. Okay, then we are having the service date here, 2017-07-20, like that. Okay, so this is just a sample. Okay, and here also I am having the loop details. 2000 is for the provider, 2000B is for the subscriber, 2000C is for the client. Okay, then 2300 is having claim information, 2400 is having service line information. Okay, here service line information. LX1, this is the line 1. Okay, so we can have a different service lines under a single claim. So the claim will be converted to the EDI file format. That is what I just wanted to let you know. Okay, after converting the claim into the EDI file format only, we can load the data into the database, and we can then make it automatic for processing the claim. Okay. Yeah, then
Sivas, a quick question.
yes.
Can you please explain what are the loops and the segments here? I'm a little bit confused.
Okay, so
I know
loops
what you
and
are showing, but by definition, like how do we understand what are loops and segments?
right. So loop is we can say loop is an part of a form, part of that EDI file format. Okay, there will be some starting and ending of each loop. So it will be like block of information we can say. And segment is like under that block of information, each of the line will be called as a segment, like NM1, NM2, like we are having this different segment here. Let me show you
I see, I
that.
see. So those are just part of that form.
Right, those are just part of that loop, NM1, N3, N4, like that.
Okay.
Okay. So this is a standard form again. This is a standard file format again. Okay, and it but it will always start with ST and end with SE.
SE.
Okay,
Okay.
and within a ST to SE segment, there can be more than one claims. Okay, now currently this is a one claim information, but within a ST to SE segment, there can be a possibility like we are submitting multiple claims within a single EDI file. Okay, and every claim will have the unique identification number. Yes, CLM. This is the unique identification number we are having 184347180. So similar to this, there will be a unique identification number. Okay, and we can submit multiple claims within a ST to SC segment. Okay, after SC segment, there will be a count of lines present within this ST and SE line. So the PHD will be line 1, NM1 will be line 2, PR will be line 3. Like this, we are having 38 lines, okay, above the SE and after the ST line. So that detail will be also there in this EDI file format. Okay, so yeah, this is just as a heads up about this EDI, because you will be hearing these words, okay, EDI and then segments, loop and all, okay, multiple times when you go to the actual work, if you are if you are getting the job in a healthcare domain. Okay, then next thing we are having is a high level process flow we are having, how the claim will be processed. Okay, what are the steps we will be having and in this claim processing cycle. Okay, just a minute. I'll just be back in 1 minute. Okay, back. Okay, so we were talking about what is the steps, what are the steps involved in processing the submitted claim, right? So these are the high level information again. So first is like step one is a claim source. So claim source is like who is submitting the claim. Okay, and it can be submitted by the multiple entities again. It can be submitted by the providers. Okay, it may be hospitals, doctors, or pharmacists. Okay, the claim can be submitted by the members. Okay, like any individual who is enrolled in a plan, so they also can submit a claim. Then a clearinghouse. So clearinghouse is a third party entity we are having. Okay, sometimes like a doctors or hospital may not have the time, or they will be uh they are tied up with some of the third party tools or third party organizations, okay, who will submit the claims on behalf of hospitals. So that we are calling as a clearing houses. Okay, so the claim can be submitted by the clearing houses as well. And then the companies are like employers, right? So on behalf of its employees, the employer also can submit a claim. Okay, so this is the step one, like to identify who is submitting the claim. Okay, so once we have this claim source, now, okay, now I'm saying here we multiple times. Okay, so we here in the sense healthcare organizations, because we will be working for them. Like if you are if you got the job in Aetna Health, or maybe Cigna Health or BCBSMN. Okay, so anywhere. So we in the sense insurance company. So we are working for them. Now, whenever I'm referring the term we here, make sure you are understanding it correctly. It is the insurance company. Okay, so once the claim is received, we have to receive that. Like we have to receive that claim information. Okay, at our system's end. Okay, so there can be a different manners in which the claim will be processed and submitted. Okay, or it will be received. It may be a paper claim, like using the standard forms like UB04 or CNS 1500, or it may be electronic claim. Directly the hospitals may use the EDI file format to submit the claim. Okay, or maybe it is a voice response unit, like in an emergency we are just getting a call from the providers. Okay, it is a real-time adjudication process, and this is like not common for all the treatments, for all the diagnosis. Okay, but yeah, we are having this type of claim receipt processing as well. Then third step is an adjudication. So here, from here, what actual developers work will start from step 3, adjudication process. Now, what is mean by adjudication? By chance, anyone knows?
No idea.
No, sir.
Okay, that's fine. Adjudication is nothing but, in simple terms, we can say evaluation of the information. Okay,
Uh,
so but like if the claim is submitted as an insurance company, we have to decide whether to pay the claim, whether to deny the claim. Okay, if we are paying the claim, whether pay fully 100% or maybe pay this 80% and 20% amount will be denied and all. So that decision we have to take by adjudicating the claim. Okay, so when we say adjudication, okay, it will be like evaluation of the information submitted through the claim. Okay, so in claim adjudication, we are having different validations, so that we will see. But adjudication is a process of validating the claims based on the predefined set of business rules. So, uh, when like as an insurance company, we will be having our own business rules. So, how the claim will be validated? Okay, what are the criterias we are having to see the correctness of the claim? Okay, so that we will not end up with paying unnecessary, okay, or paying extra to the providers or the members. Okay, so because that is not like that is not a profitable organization we can call. Like if we are paying for each and every claim, and we are paying for uh, all the amounts that is being submitted, okay, we will end up with closing our insurance company, right? We will be in debit only. So there will be set of business rules we will be having, okay, which will define how you have to check the claims submitted. Okay, what are the criterias? What are the rules? What are the major factors that you need to check in the claim information? Okay, so that is what the adjudication is. Okay, so I have listed out some of the rules here, some of the what we say, some of the validations rules here, but these are not all the rules. Okay, there will be a lot of rules we will be having, because as an insurance company, what you will see is you will look to deny the claim only. Okay, so your rules will be again harder, your rules will be very strict. Okay, you will be goes on adding rules there, so that you will be ended up denying the claims or paying a less amount only. So then only we can say yeah, like then only you can be in a profit, right? If you are paying for each and every claim, again that is not a good for the health insurance company. So we should have the rules, we should have a more complex logics or business rules to evaluate the claim. And some of those I have given, but these are the common, these are this will be there for each and every healthcare organization, no matter in which company you are working. Okay, these rules will be there. The claim adjudication process typically goes through the following process. The member information. The very first thing is we have to validate the member information, right? Now, how to validate that? To validate the information, we should have some reference, right? So when, let's say, you are working you are working as a teacher in an university, right? So now what you will do is you will take an exam for the students, okay, and what you will do is you will evaluate the answer sheet. How you will evaluate the answer sheet? Because either you know the answers, right? Because that is there in the your academics, or the that answers will be there in your books, right? So you will be comparing the information available in the books and the information that has been written by the student, right? So there should be something to compare the information, so that we can say this is a valid information, right? So when we say we are member information we are checking. Okay, so one thing is member information will be there on the claim form. Now we have to validate this whether it is correct or not. So how to validate it? So where will be that information present to validate?
The member's account.
Right. So the members account, in the sense, the information will be there in the member table, right? So we'll be having the member ID, member details, job. Do we have anything related to claim here?
No.
It is a core member information. Okay. So whenever a member is enrolled with the insurance company, they will store that detail in some of the table. Okay, in some table for the member. There will be a separate table for members, separate table for providers. Okay, and all these we call as a master table, because this is not a, a daily changing information, right? Once the member is enrolled, it may be enrolled for an year. Okay, or it may be enrolled for 2 years, 3 years, right? So it is like not regularly changing information. That's why we call those as the master tables as well. Okay, so member information will be there in our master table in the database, and the claim information will be there in the claim table. Okay, the claim information will be there in the claims table. So that two tables we can use to compare the data, and we can see whether the member is valid. Now for this, what we can check is whether the name is correct as per our registered information. Okay, the name submitted on the claim form should be matched with the name which is present in our database, in our member table. Okay, it may be first name, last name, middle name, or it may be a date of birth. Okay, or it may be like the member should be active again, right? Let's say you are received a claim for a member A, but member A's plan was expired in last month itself. So how we can pay for that member? No, right? Let's say you are receiving a claim today and that member's plan was expired in the previous month. That is not a valid claim, right? So that kind of information will be checked under this member information validation. Then we have the provider information validation as well. Similar to the member, the provider information will be also there in the provider table, right? And that will be validated against the submitted information. Then date of service, date of receipt is validated, right? So service dates. So this should not be future dates, right? Because you have already taken the services. Okay, and on your claim form you are having service date as a future date, so that is not a valid claim, right? Even let's say you are having a service date which are less than your or maybe out of the range of your plan registration. Your plan is active until last month, and now you have taken the services in the current month. So that is again not a valid claim, right? So that kind of rules will be having under this service date. Okay, claim is validated for duplicity. Okay, there may be chance like for the same information, same provider, same member, same date of service, same diagnosis code. Okay, same procedure codes. So all these details are same, and we are receiving that information in different files from the same provider. So that is an duplicate claim. So that is also will be checked if the claim is duplicate or not. Then plan and benefit eligibility checked. Okay, so again, this is like health insurance plan, right? So if the plan is active, okay, if it is active, whether there may be chance like your plan is active, but whatever treatment you have taken, that is not eligible for your plan, right? Because let's say you have taken a health insurance plan from one of the insurance company, and in their plan, while buying that plan, they have strictly mentioned like cancer treatment is not eligible for this plan. Okay, and if you have taken the treatment for cancer and you are submitting the claim, that claim should be rejected, right? So the plan as well we will check, and the benefit eligibility as well we will check, whether the taken services or rendered services is covered under that plan or not. So that also will be checked. Then product is like, again, within the plan there may be different products we will be having, sub plan we call that. Then yeah, the member or provider reimbursement is determined, right? So after checking all these details, okay, before that I will take this point up. Diagnosis related information. Okay, so diagnosis related information will be validated, right? What is the diagnosis for that patient? Okay, what is the cause of illness? So that will be checked. Okay, the drugs will be checked. What kind of medicines has been taken, and then service and procedure code. So these are the codes we are calling. So this code is nothing but there will be some standard codes we are having for each of the treatment, okay, or each of the procedures to follow if the patient is diagnosed for some of the illness. Let's say we are having a uh, let's say patient is came with a fever, okay, so what are the steps we need to follow to treat that patient? Okay, let's say once the patient is arrived in a clinic, what are the common steps we will be having initially? Let's say it's his first visit, so what you will do? So initially maybe you will be like taken an appointment and you're going to the clinic. So what they will do is they will first check your weight, they will check your BP, they will check your sugar. Okay, then they will send you to the doctor will ask about the cause, what you have eaten in last few days, right? Whether you are having a good sleep. So that all things will be checked, and based on that they will advise you whether need to be hospitalized, whether you will be uh, fine after taking some medicines, and you can go to the home. So that all decisions will be taken. So this all entire thing we call it as a procedure. Okay, so for fever, we are having one procedure. Let's say you are having some other disease. Let's say you are having some accident. Okay, so for that you are having some different set of procedure. Okay, so all these different procedures will be tagged to some code. Okay, that code is nothing but identifier for the procedure, and that procedure code will be available in the claim form. We need to submit the procedure codes on a claim form. Okay, and based on that only we can see whether it is a valid procedure code or not for the insurance company. Same way we are having diagnosis code, procedure codes. Okay, different types of codes we'll be having, and based on all this eligibility check, then only the member or provider's reimbursement details will be determined. Okay, now if everything is fine, looks fine for the for us, for the insurance company, we will decide how much we are going to pay, whether we are going to pay the claim or not. If we are going to pay the claim, what is the amount that we are going to pay, whether we are paying all the amount, whether we are reducing some amount because of some incorrect or maybe because of the eligibility or the remaining amount in the plan. So that all will be determined under this adjudication process. Okay, it is just determined, I have mentioned. Okay, we are not making the payment yet, we are just determining the amount that is being paid. Okay, so here we are saying like during every stage of adjudication process, master files and the databases such as product master, member table master, provider master table, group master table, etc. are used to adjudicate the claim. Based on the outcome of above check, the correctness of the claim is validated and it is either sent back to sender for further clarifications or taken up for the further payment process. Right. So based on the correctness of the claim, we will take the decision to process the claims to the next step, or we will decide to send back the claim asking the clarifications from the sender. Okay, it may be hospital member or any a third party entity. Okay, so this is what the third step in this is adjudication process. So we will be working on the claims part and in the adjudication process. So we will be creating some of the procedures from this adjudication process. Okay, in our project. Then next part we are having is a claim payment processing, and then last one is a claim output. So what is claim payment processing? Now we are having the uh, this adjudication complete. Now we have to process the payment. Okay, so under the payment process, what insurance company will do is it will uses a daily check extract file for resolved claims and to facilitate and preparation for the provide checks. Okay, so we will be providing a payment through the checks, or maybe we will be doing an electronic payment as well. Okay, or sometimes like providers or doctors will be paid monthly basis on a periodic time. Okay, it is not like, let's say the provider is submitted 10 claims today and we will pay the 10 claims immediately today. Okay, it may be like contract with the provider by the insurance company, like we will proceed the payment weekly, like so within a week, let's say we he is submitting like 20 claims, so we will pay for the 20 claims by the end of the week only. So we have to decide all those things. Anything is there like any outstanding payment we are having, so we will be goes adding, and we will process the payment through the electronics or maybe through the check. Okay, so once the payment has been completed, we need to update those details into the tables as well, right? So that we are having the valid claims data. So there will be a information about the payments as well into the database tables that we need to update against all those providers, all those claims. Like we have make this payment or this amount we has been submitted. What is the check number? What is the electronic transfer number? Okay, yeah, the transaction ID and all. So those all details needs to be updated into the tables into the database. Okay, and final step in this adjudication process is claim output. Okay, so the claim output is something which is needed for the business to take the decisions, right? So it may be like number of claims processed throughout the day, or amount of the like total amount that has been paid to the senders, okay, maybe providers or hospitals, okay, or any letters has been there that needs to be sent to the provider saying this amount has been sent, and this like to the members as well, the your claim is denied or your claim is rejected, so why it is rejected, so a reason stating the rejection of the claim or acceptance of the claim, any clarifications needed, so all those can be asked through the letters. Okay, so the output can be, there may be multiple things in the output. Okay, so once the payment is processed, following information is updated. As I mentioned, this payment information will be updated into the table, and there will be a products that has been generated after the payment process. It will be checks, it will be draft, or maybe explanation of the benefits to the providers. So what kind of benefits we got through this payments, through this claims processing, so that also will be submitted to the business and hence to the hospitals. Then there will be letters. Okay, so letters also as a is a part of output. So for all this, we can use multiple things, like it may be a dashboard, Power BI dashboard, or it may be SSRS reporting to generate the report for multiple things. Okay, so in output, mostly we'll be having the reports, letters, and products. Okay, so this is what the entire process, adjudication process we are having. Okay, uh, okay, I was searching everywhere, but I am having the sample claim file into this document itself. Sample EDI format. Okay, so yeah, this is what the entire process is. Now, from tomorrow, we will talk about other things. This is just a basic information about the healthcare domain. I will share this document to you so that you can go and you can read it out, try to understand the terminologies. Okay. Now we need to look for the entire databases on. I think you have created these tables, right? No.
Which one? No,
The,
no, we
no,
haven't created anything on the healthcare.
no, I was thinking whether I was initially given this information. I am not remembering that. Okay. Yeah.
No.
We have to create multiple things. Okay. There are tables and we need to understand the requirement. Okay. And based on that, we will go. Okay. I will share all these documentations so that you can start understanding this. Okay. So tomorrow we will understand the actual work, what we need to do. Okay. And what are the tools and technologies that will be using in real time during working in the project. Okay, so that you will have some idea on the real tools, real technologies that will be used on a daily basis within a project.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
in
looks like
case,
this involves a lot of automation, right?
right, not only in this, okay, when we are working on a database, right, so all will be automated. Everything mostly will be automated because it's not possible to process this huge volume manually. Okay. If I comes from my end, if you see, I was worked in a healthcare domain in past few years. Okay.
Mhm.
So I was working for one of the US healthcare insurance company, and the daily health claim count was almost 35 to 40,000 per day. So
Oh,
that many claims we were processing on a daily basis. Okay, and though the process is automated, there are multiple checks, multiple things we need to do for processing those 30,000 claims during the automated system as well. It was taking almost 24 hours to complete the entire batch.
oh,
So now when I say batch, starting from claim submission through adjudication and like the payment products like letters and all, it was taking
mhm.
24 hours to finish the entire cycle for uh, processing all those 35 to 40,000 claims on a daily basis.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, it will take time, but yeah, the processes will be automated and there will be different things we'll be using for automation. That also we will talk about it tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, what are the
Nice.
different tools we are having for automation, how we schedule those and all. We will talk about it.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Okay, don't miss the sessions, okay, because these are the very important